watching me like a nigga is cable. I'll be on no label, but my clothes be all label.
Yo, dance with it. See me like the stand inside. Freaking the record, all the gang, bang. Yeah. Hey, yo, friends. Call me Reese, but my mama, she call me Doc. And artists call me Big Bro, but I ain't asking for that spot. The rank and responsibility merge thick in the plot. Like little water and a lot of grits, and they merge thick in the pot. I'm a sex geek, an American psychonaut. A drug war refugee, whether I like it or not. Like pot, sativa, only homie, I think a lot. Took a trip out to Cali, and I barely could drink a drop. Where the ancestors show me this is just a dream. What you mean? Don't let your fears hold you back, cause nothing is what it seems.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another No Label Convo. Here with my boy Now.
Yo.
Special shout outs to everybody that's been subscribing on YouTube. Subscribers is going up.
Yeah.
Sharing on Instagram, liking. Shouts out to our last interview we just dropped with Creative Connect.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback, so we definitely appreciate y'all for, you know what I mean, tuning in. Keep sharing, keep liking.
Yeah, keep sharing, man.
Yeah.
Share.
We got some things in store coming, you know what I mean? So just be ready for it. Be on the lookout. Shout out to our sponsors, Guap Coin.
You know
what I mean? Cryptocurrency for the culture. If you ain't got it now, get to it. Because, man, it's changing the game. Just learn sooner than later. Don't be late, last on the boat. So we sitting here with a dope guest at an unknown location. And my man, he has a very, very detailed, like, experience when it comes to our Buffalo scene and our rap scene, and I really want to be able to pick his brain and just, I know he got some gems in there for all of us. He is one half of We Stole the Show. My man, Grand PHEE, what's good, bruh?
Man, I'm chilling, man. What's up? Yo, thanks for, you know what I mean, having me and shit. You know,
Yeah, no doubt.
Bro.
Appreciate it.
Sharing the space with us.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's beautiful in here, man. I always enjoy when I'm be able to just sit back and just like soak all this in.
We was just in here last week for the was it last week? Last weekend?
It's like what, 2 weekends ago for the that little kickback.
Yeah.
2 weekends ago.
Hell yeah, that shit.
And it's even more shit in here than it was then.
Hell yeah.
Constantly creating.
Facts. So let's start. Where you from? Buffalo, right?
Not originally.
Oh, where
originally? I was born in Alabama.
Okay.
Birmingham.
I got mad family in Birmingham.
Yeah, I was born down there, and then I guess when I was like about 2 or 3 or something.
Speak up a little bit.
Oh, my bad. I guess when I was like about 2 or 3, you know what I'm saying, he came up here or whatever, but yeah, I'm from down there and shit. My pops from down there.
That's right.
Yeah, my mom's is from Tennessee and shit. So yeah, I'm not originally from the low, but I was like raised in the low.
Yeah, it's in your blood still.
And then when I was in high school, I got expelled, and I ended up having to go to high school down south and shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Word.
I did high school down in Alabama too. So
Bet. Yeah. So was you into?
What school was you going to here?
In Alabama, in Birmingham, Minor. It was called Minor High.
You said you were going to high school here and you got
in
expelled?
Bennett.
Bennett.
Yeah, got suspended in Bennett.
What'd you do? You was fighting?
Nah, man, some goofy shit, man. Some goofy. It's just, I guess God's plan how it's like, yo, you don't need to be in high school down up here.
Nah, that's valid.
It got me out of there somehow. So.
Facts.
Yeah.
Shit. What was music and art always a part of your journey since back then, or like?
Yeah, I was always fucking with shit. Like I was always even like from being in high school that 1 year I was fucking with music heavy and all that shit. And then from getting expelled and then going to Alabama in high school, I was heavy into music because that's all I really had moving like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like a super athlete and no shit like that. So I was on some hip hop shit.
Word.
So yeah, I was doing shit even back then in high school.
What was the? Well, I don't want to ask. Well, when did you go? Like you went to high school in Alabama. When did you ended up coming back to Buffalo?
After I graduated, but you want a year or some shit? Like
I'm trying to
the era.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what era of hip hop was what was being birthed at that time?
So everybody's formative years is in high school. That's the shit you cling on to. So when I was around, I don't really want to throw it out there, but when I was around, the Wu, Nas, Outkast, that was all there. It was the 93, 94 era, you know what I'm saying, of shit.
Fact.
That's when I was around kicking it.
Golden era.
You know what I mean? So I really seen it, you know what I'm saying? Actually, when I was down south going to high school, I went to Freaknik one year.
Oh, where?
You know what I'm saying? Because
Legendary.
You know, Atlanta right there. So I went over there one year, to go see what was going on. Oh, it was real.
Oh my
It
god.
was
For the
real.
cameras and all that.
Yeah, if I say it'd never be like that again, because
It was
cameras
real.
alone.
So, you know, I got to see some shit. But yeah, I was around for all that. You know what I mean? Was around for that. And then came back up here after graduating, or a little after that. And yeah, the 90s in Buffalo and shit. You know what I mean?
So shit, did you ever get like? And I know the '90s was wild. Like, did you ever get tied up in any of the street shit, or did it?
Yeah, because when you don't have a father around, you know what I mean, for a little bit of time, you confused on what is you supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's nobody telling you just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, when you grow up around them areas and shit like that, that's kind of what happened when you don't got that guidance and shit. So yeah, it got a little goofy for a minute, you know what I'm saying, and just
shit, yeah, you made it here. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So
you know what I'm saying.
That's what counts.
So yeah, it did get goofy for a minute, you know what I'm saying.
Facts. So how did you end up meeting Reese, who we know as Source Academy Kid?
Right. Crazy.
Shouts out to Reese, man.
Yeah, that's my little brother right there, man. That's my guy right there. So we was at this indie label. They'll remain nameless for the time. You know what I'm saying? It was popping around. It was just some underground shit though. It was, you know what I mean? But they was getting out of town at the time. At the time, niggas wasn't getting out of town. So, you know, getting out of town
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck it, you know what I mean? He with the backpack white, you know what I mean, white boy type shit, but I'm like, it's getting out of town though. So it's like
Fact. Was you rapping at the time, or
yeah, but when I first got down, it was super indie, so I worked the fucking the radio.
Okay.
Like I was hitting up DJs and like building relationships and calling motherfuckers about other people records that was already on the little label or whatever. So that was cool for me to just see how things
Work from that side.
right, you know what I'm saying, before I put some work in on the other side. So I saw that, and then by the time it was time to do something, Reese was popping in college. Like he was before Kanye West, he was the college. I wasn't, you know, I was from the east side of Buffalo. I really wasn't exposed to like a college rapper type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this is the first nigga I ever known that was like killing it in college and got a college fan base. We done rock, you know, frat shows and all that kind of shit. I ain't been exposed to that kind of shit before him, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, in my eye, yo, you the college rapper, my
So
nigga.
he's still rapping like the same style, you would say, as like the
Who, him?
other-
Who,
No,
Reese? Me?
Yeah, Reese.
Reese was,
But he just had a different image than what the normal rappers would.
nah, he was killing it back then though. He you know, everybody kind of got like that influence. Who they really influenced by. Like I got I'm influenced by like a Red Man kind of. I be trying to keep it funny. Sean Price, you know what I mean? When I was rapping and shit more consistent. Reese, when he came out the gate, he was on some Big L shit. Like just the way, the timing. You know what I'm saying? Because you know rapping is timing and shit. So, you know the pockets he would pop in and the you know, man, shit. He listened to that motherfucking Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous to that bitch broke in the Subaru. So yeah, he was when we first hooked up, he was heavy Big L influence, punchlines, slick though.
Word.
Real slick with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He never been like a slouch on the mic. Never.
Thanks.
Like that's what made me fuck with him, because you know a younger cat, you know what I mean, but you like, yo, you doper than me, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, word, he always been slick with it though.
Facts. 'Cause I used to remember seeing y'all would perform at Milky's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and like that's what I want to say. That's when I first like got introduced to y'all.
Yeah, that's
First
the fourth chapter of the fucking book. Yeah,
Word,
where
yeah,
we
that's-
pop back up because we hooked up and then the label thing went south and shit, and then we moved to New York, and same time he moved to New York, my little brother, my physical brother, passed away, and that was just like, yo, I'm out of here. So I went to New York with that nigga, and we got it popping in Bushwick.
Okay.
This was like 07, 08. And then a couple years later in 015, 16,
Yeah.
we popped back up here. We moved back up here and
Okay.
shit. You know what I mean? And that's when we bumped into you, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So that's...
Yeah, 'cause I was like, we in our culture we don't always be able to get to hear the stories from the older generation. 'Cause with social media, it can like the older generation don't heavily interact with it,
Yeah,
and
they
it's
don't
like
compete.
and it's like we get these 30-second, 60-second clips of, oh, this was what it's like. We get to experience it through a small ass 4x3 screen.
I
Like,
still feel like I didn't even give you the real, you know what I mean? It's mad things that happen in between that.
yeah,
You
like
know
you
what
could
I'm saying?
you could touch on all of that because I really want to get a history of like.
Well, let me think. Like, okay, so when I moved back to Buffalo, and this was like 97, 98 or something like that from Alabama.
Yeah, what was the scene like here?
I had just got out of like a probation situation from getting in some goofy shit in college and shit. So the upstate thing was popping when I got back up here. And one of the cats that was in upstate lived around my way. He lived around the corner, Gutter the Rebel. So I used to go over his crib and we used to watch Kung Fu flicks, write rhymes and shit. But that was what was popping when I came home. And DJ Shay was like across the street from me, you know what I'm saying? So, and his grandmother and my grandmother were super tight. And I just went over there one day. Like, I just heard the beats, and I was just like, I ain't really know him when we was little because he's older than me.
Yeah.
But being that I'm back in the neighborhood and shit, and you know what I mean, I'm like hearing this shit. I went over there, dude. I'm like, dude, he's like, yo, and it's like, you know, he remembered when we was kids or whatever, but like, yeah, from that time, that's that early Unsigned City era that I was around for, you know what I'm saying? And yo, the dude, he, to me, he's one of the legends of the Buffalo that really ain't get his due, rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
Yeah, that's the guy that kind of was like Shay Benny at the time for that era. You know what I'm saying? He was going, and he was really that dude for that time. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
And yeah, I was around for that shit. That shit was dope.
That's
It was
right.
dope to see. It was dope to see. You know what I mean?
Cause
So what happened with Rock Bottom? Did he?
He ended up getting sick, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember exactly what the illness was, but it took him down. Like, he's still alive, but he not, you know what I mean, physically, you know what I mean? And it's sad. I seen him since he been like that. It fucked me up, you know what I mean?
yeah, that shit always tough.
Cause this is a guy that gave me a shot, you know what I'm saying? He like put me on his song on Unsigned City and shit, so it's like, yo, that was dope. I wasn't even like all that confident back then, but like, it's like a look, you know, when somebody just give you a look, you know, just fuck with you. So yeah, I always fucked with Shay and that whole shit right there, you know what I'm saying? That's what was popping when I first came home and shit. That upstate shit, the hood picnics, you know what I mean, at the park, you know what I mean? They was doing shit back then, like, it was thorough, you know what I mean?
Is outside of Rock Bottom, are there any other like people who was coming up in Buffalo, like really like killing the rap scene, like before? Because we were born in 90. I'm born in 93. He born in 95. So it's like when we first started hearing about the rap scene, like first rappers I knew in the city was like like skis, fucking Gaines, people like that. Like those are my introduction to
Bleak
rappers.
was the
Like
first one I knew.
yeah, so
Right.
like outside of like Rock Bottom, who were some of those other artists that like laid the groundwork?
Wow, that's a lot of people. I mean, just
We needed like we really
no, it's
need- we
cool.
need
It's
to know,
cool. It's
like,
cool.
yeah.
It's cool. Cause I met Gaines and all of them when I moved back, and I was like, these is the new niggas, cause these is the thorough. You know what I'm saying? So shit. I was around that upstate camp a lot. You know what I mean? So I would really say like really honestly that whole upstate movement was a thing because the thing that was dope about them is they was from all the hoods. And if you know anything about Buffalo, it always be friction.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Always been friction amongst the different little hood factions or whatever and shit, right? That was their goal. This guy's from here, this guy's from here, this guy's from here, these guys from over here.
Yeah.
Wow. And we all at Schiller Park. Throwing a bar. I was like, yo, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. You know what I'm saying? So I could really say that whole collective
Okay.
was doing shit back in the day. Who else, man? There was a lot of shit moving back in the day. That whole Baby Steps movement was a lot of dope shit, but there was more. You know, Buffalo's like mad racist, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Without a
saying?
doubt.
So what was going on? Like the hood shit wasn't able to get the platform
Exactly.
back in the day, back in the Baby Step era. You know what I'm saying? The guy who was running it was a white guy with dreads who he would critique and pick who he want, you know what I mean, as opposed to just the culture, everybody getting they just, you know what I mean? Me, because I never really saw a lot of the upstate dudes on, because that was overlapping time. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, but you know, that aside, the Baby Steps era was cool because it was like you had guys like Agent O, Third Son, who else? It was more the backpack shit. But this was like, they had the night. They had a monthly night that you could go to and get your hip hop on, which is fucked up now that y'all don't have that. You know what I'm saying? But the problem with that was one guy was trying to dictate everything and gatekeep who could be hip hop and who couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, it was so many dope dudes off the east side of Buffalo that would never get that platform back in the day because this dude, you know what I'm saying? So that's what was going on back in the day. You know what I mean? Who else? It's a lot of dope dudes, man, from back in the day,
I
man.
think we kind of with Nami Labs. I think they bringing something like that back.
Yeah. One thing.
Another space where we could all come together.
Yeah, creative.
That's good. That's good. I mean, really, it's like a sad thing that it been a gap because a lot of the guys from my era don't be around that, and that's what I know to do that from hip hop, just to be around the younger motherfuckers, because that's who, you know what I'm saying. If you in this shit, what you gonna, you know what I mean? It don't make sense. So
Yeah, that's one thing I want to do with us too. Is like I want to get the younger people around because it's like I always wanted to be like mentored to younger dudes who fresh out of high school. You have no idea what you want to do. A lot of that time, people go to the streets, and it's like, nah, bro. There's an avenue to do shit like this. There's an avenue
man,
to
I'm
do
from
this, that.
I'm from the east side of Buffalo, man. This music shit has taken me on tour over 3 times. I done been to Europe. Just not even like just what it did for me. It's not even a brag. It's what it did for me. So, you know, everybody needs some shit to do. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Some shit to, you know what I mean, put that energy towards, you know what
Be
I'm
able
saying?
to
So
get out the city, change your perspective.
Yeah,
on life,
yeah,
see
yeah.
different shit, bring
Music
back
was
those
doing that for
memories
me.
to your friends
Yeah.
and shit. They can learn from it.
yeah, music was doing that for me, you know what I'm saying? Like in a real way. So I gotta like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's real. What's some things that you took back from being able to see these different cities? Like, did you feel like it gave you like a little edge in some way? Or
I mean, back then, okay, so we toured a few years in 07 and 08. We did like, basically like cross-country joints, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to see, you know, little venues of you know, like the same little shit you see in your town, that version of it. That shit was cool, but, you know, that underground shit didn't really make the money.
facts?
You know what I'm saying? You doing door deals, you doing break evens, you doing, you know, you got your merch, you know, same shit. It just was the underground shit was just still college radio and shit like that. And the internet was just it was just MySpace. It really wasn't.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't there yet. You know what I'm saying? But recently, when I came home, I had set up a tour just in California,
Okay.
and we did that in like I think 2016 or some shit. So that was fun. You know what I mean? We did like the bottom half of Cali, Oakland, the Bay, all that shit. Then we went up top, Richmond, Beverly Hills, all that shit up there. We did the top part of it. LA and shit. So that was cool just to see that shit, you know what I mean, again and soak it all in and shit. California different.
Yeah.
California different.
I haven't been there either, but like my experience, I went to Cape Town, South Africa.
See, I never been there. I want to go there.
It was weird because it gave me a West Coast vibe, like on the water, surf culture,
Right.
People mad chill, everybody want to smoke, like it.
They got smoke out there?
It ain't hitting.
It ain't. Yo, that be I ain't gonna front. I always go do like a question and answer during everywhere I go. Because when we went to Europe, we had to find the smoke. I'm like everywhere I go, we got to find the smoke.
I heard it's hard out there.
We was plugged in. We was just plugged in where we was at. We was plugged in with the right people, like the cameraman. All that shit was like.
That's for yeah.
They was already plugged in with the hip hop. Yo, when I pulled up, because we went to Estonia. This shit is like right under Russia. This shit is nuts. It's just, they just had like, I guess, what's that shit? That whole war in like just the 80s. So a lot of that whole, they got a lot of like, what do you call it, army equipment that's still laying around a city from the war that happened in the 80s and shit. So a lot of the people is still kind of, that something happened over there. You know what I mean?
They're still traumatized from
it. Right. So that's why they fuck with the hip hop, it seemed like, because they got to struggle and shit.
Yeah, they understand.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we first pulled up, they had asked us, the DJ that fuck with us asked us, did we know about Conway? He's like, y'all from Buffalo, right? We was like, yeah. He's like, you know about the machine?
The machine?
I was like, yeah, bro, that's what's up. Bro, all the way out here and shit.
That's hard.
But he, he the DJ, so you know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you what's your take on, like, you was traveling a bunch of different places, why do you think that there's like such a negative connotation like on checking in and when you go into these other places and stuff like that?
Oh, I don't know. I never even thought about that shit like that. I mean, I ain't gonna say I'm a broke rapper, but we so low key and shit we do. We ain't really, we more like family. You know what I'm saying? I never thought of that shit though, checking in and shit like that. I know that shit is important when you moving a certain way, but we move like family members. We don't really move on no gangster rap shit. Yeah. Like, that's the funny thing about me and rap. Like I like rap, but I don't like keeping up a persona. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what got me into the production a little bit more, you know what I mean? That shit is, and Reese don't either. You know what I mean? To be honest, we just regular niggas. You know what I'm saying? That do what we do.
Yeah, and that's why I like y'all. That's why I appreciate it.
It's dope, but I feel like it's a curse because we so authentically real that we don't give off, like, we give off some star quality, but we don't give off the assholeness that you need to be to gain a superstar, to gain attention. Thank you very much. And I don't play them games with people. Because I lived in New York and I know what that's like. And I worked at Fader magazine as the receptionist, and I met famous people. And you don't have to be like that.
And what people don't understand, like, they appreciate when they can be normal.
I met Rihanna. I met who else did I meet? I met what was Future? Sierra. I met Sierra. I met Saul Williams. You know what I'm saying? Mad people just working there. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's the game people want to play. That's fine, but we just ain't got the energy for all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Life is real.
Yeah,
it's
it's too real to be living in the light show. Like,
Yeah,
that's what we
yeah.
all
So
do.
when did you realize you didn't want to like be one of those type of rappers or put on those personas just to get
Man,
attention?
I started I started noticing things when I was rapping in the hood. You know what I mean? When I started getting good at it, cause you know the 1,000 hour shit and all that shit. Like I had seen my man get killed and shit back in the day when I was young, and we was goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? So that fucked me up. So I fell back, kind of went crazy for a minute, and just got into the rhymes heavy. And before I knew it, I had got them 1,000 hours in. And then I was out, doing show, writing my plan down, I was moving. But I knew the people that I lived around, the hood, my friends in the neighborhood, they wasn't fucking with me. They wasn't supporting me. So I was like, damn, that's a lesson.
That was a strong reality for a lot of artists in Buffalo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you'll go to the show and it's not a hood thing. It's just the people that know you. You know what I'm saying? The way I figured it. Because, you go to the show and there's other niggas at the show, black people, whatever, at the show and shit, and they come over to you later, yo, you killed it. So it's like, what the fuck is wrong with my neighbor?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a weird shit, but it's what you go through. It's what you go through. You know what I'm saying? I guess it make you strong and determined in your
Vision.
in your shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's facts. Because most people get more love from the other cities than they do in their hometown. Like,
Yeah.
like Boosie even spoke on that shit. Like, he don't be doing like going to Baton Rouge, or like he can't live there because he gets so much hate and people
Right.
who they want to see harm to it. It's a weird thing in our culture.
With hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also the energy you put out there too, because a lot of
Facts.
niggas' downfall is stunting.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? You could get it, but you don't gotta wave it in a nigga face.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to tell you what to do with what you do. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? It's just the energy. That's just I don't want to project that energy on nobody. I don't want to make nobody feel. I would want to motivate you though.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I do get it.
Yeah.
So what is that thin line then?
I don't know,
a lot of the
man.
rappers,
I'm
they,
broke.
They got the cards and shit. They be like,
I don't know. I'm
motivational
broke.
purposes only.
I don't
but then
know.
they got people that's gonna hate on it. So
Right. I don't know. I'm broke. I've been around. You know what I'm saying? I realized one thing. The few famous people I've been around, they respect regular people a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of don't want shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't really coming with an intention of getting over or getting some shit. So everything is like
trying to benefit from that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I've learned, you know what I'm saying? I had met Big when I was like about 16 years old, 17, 16 years old. Notorious BIG, I met him when I was in Alabama going to high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He was at like the state fair show. And there wasn't a lot of people there, but I like hung out with him all day and shit.
That's fire.
That's high.
Yeah, went to the show, all that shit.
What was that experience like?
Yo, for me, I think that set me crazy. Being like a senior in high school, about to graduate, and my stepsister took me to she met him, she went to college already, so she met him at a homecoming. And so he come in town, he hit my stepsister up like, where the weed at? You know what I'm saying? And she came and got me and was like, yo, I'm about to give you a graduation present. And I'm like, hooping with niggas and all sweaty. I'm like, what you talking about? You're like, we about to go meet Big. Because she already told me she met the nigga. Because I was like, where you? All right, let's go. Dip met this nigga at the fair. They threw a hotel party and shit later that night. The Junior Mafia was there. Clark Kent was there.
Or
Craig Mack he wasn't at the party, but Craig Mack was at the show doing the tour or whatever.
R.I.P.
Yeah, but Big was a funny nigga, man. That was the cool nigga, bro.
I believe it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to believe a nigga was that young, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was what, 24, 25?
He might have been 22, my nigga, 23.
Really?
Because this
You met him?
is one more chance. Yeah, we kicked it. Because he was cool with my sister. So my sister knew they was coming to town and kind of set it up for me to hang out with him all day.
Yeah, that.
You know what I'm
That'll
saying?
do a lot for a young.
You know what
young
I'm
dude
saying?
just,
That's
like,
why I
coming
go with
up.
the producer dark skinned Jermaine, because I'm just like, that was my nigga. You know what I mean? When I met that nigga, he didn't like front on me. You know what I mean? As a little nigga, you know what I mean? Him being up. You know what I mean? Because you just up. That's all you really just up. You shouldn't front on niggas when you up. You know what I mean? It's just be like, and I just appreciated that about him. You know what I mean?
Because you didn't get to where you are by fronting on niggas anyway.
It was just weird because he didn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like he had to, because we was there and they had a hotel party and people was there, and you know he had people to front on them for him. But like, yeah, he didn't front at all. He was like, yo,
that's love.
Yeah, it was real cool, man. The dude was hilarious, dude.
Yeah, man. So you spoke on like he was like being up. Like a lot of artists, like they forget or they be so nearsighted where it's like things go up and things go down. Like it's a natural progression with shit. And it's like to me, like that's an energy thing. And I remember you speaking on like you just making sure you keeping the right energy around you. When did you like realize that how important that was?
Man, I'll be honest with you. I just started realizing that shit. Like as a whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you know it's still people that you still talk to that you just, you know, you got some people. Well, I compartmentalize some relationships. You know, family, you can't really do that. But like with friends and associates and people I deal with, I kind of, okay, I could deal with this nigga on a business level, but if some real shit pop off, you see what I'm saying? I could deal with this person on a outside of work level or whatever, but when it's time to do some business, is this the person I'm a... So them is the kind of things I be sometimes having to ask myself, you know what I mean, when I'm, you know, moving and shaking or whatever. And shit.
Facts. Yeah, man, because I see how everything is going now with just our Buffalo scene and how everything is evolving. It's a real, like, it's surreal, but it's also a very, like, I understand, like, it's a natural progression because we have had so much talent for so long. It had to become this, like it was no other option but this to manifest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like this the second generation of the dope talent. It's like, you know what I mean? It's been dope talent and it is dope talent. You know, for it to grow, you know what I mean? It's like I'm glad, you know what I mean? It took a long time, you know what I mean? And I kind of almost didn't think it was going to happen at all when like the early 2000s happened, you know what I'm saying? Just the way the music switched, the frequency switched.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? When the South thing took over early, because you know Buffalo always been a boom bap town. Like the Wu used to come here, Smith and Wesson, all those great '90s acts. They all used to come here. You know what I'm saying? And frequent the upstate New York area. You know what I'm saying? But Buffalo, because Buffalo had the college money and shit like that. Like they would all come up here and do. Because me and Reese used to open up for a lot of them shows. But damn, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, the Buffalo.
Just like how the natural progression of it becoming to what it is now.
I think it was just a build-up, man. It was a build-up. And I think the beautiful thing about what Wes and them got going on is like it's generations of the talent stacked on each, you know what I mean? Because Shay was a legend to me already before, you know what I mean? And it was like, because Rock Bottom was just like a precursor to what Benny's doing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a ill motherfucker, and Rock Bottom, I mean, Benny's is dope as fuck, and Rock Bottom was that dope as fuck in that era, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, you know, having him, and then like, man, Tommy, I mean, Derringer, like, having Derringer, like, man, I remember him back in the day DJing for me at the open mic and shit, like sneaking him in the spot, like telling niggas don't worry about how old he is, he's my DJ, it's my man. And just like getting him in there and like to see the progression, it took a long time. And I think maybe that's why it's so potent. You know what I'm saying? Because you got those generations of people working together. It's not just your peers. You got an OG. You you got a young buck, you got a contemporary, all together. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really took.
Yeah.
That
People forget that. I feel like because like when we see people like the really young rappers, like let's say like a Bow, like when Bow Wow was growing up, or let's see for now it would be like I think of NBA YoungBoy.
YoungBoy.
I think of people like Kodak. Like there are OGs behind the scenes that had to set up this structure and lay down groundwork for you to be able to be successful that young, because there's so many moving parts outside of just you rapping in front of a mic. And our city,
I'm not gonna front, bro. It took me a long time to even understand that. You know, maybe like, you know, working in this place and, you know, doing this, working at Fade or doing the, you know, seeing, okay, this is where your publicists and all that come into play. Working at Fader, getting an interview. Because the thing about working at Fader I've seen is everybody got to come to New York. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've seen Big Chop and him walk through that door with his mom and them. Just the different kind of people that had to come to New York to just get their shit up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you doing a new project? You got to come to New York. You got to go to Fader. You got to go to Billboard. Circuit. Yeah, you know, the circuit. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just seeing that shit, you know what I mean? Damn, where was you talking about?
We was just kind of like kicking this shit, just like the infrastructure of the rapper and the industry.
You really think that's, like, I think that's needed in order to sustain a success, but I don't know if that's needed in order to, like, get your name out there and get big. Like, Kodak, I don't think he had no real OGs that got him into the spot he was. He was just super talented. And it
worked different.
He had the formula for what it took. Mm-hmm. What is it, 5 years ago in order to get big? You gotta have talent. You gotta have the look. You gotta have guns in the videos. All that shit that people are gonna gravitate towards in order to get your name out there. Now, in order to sustain it, he needed OGs.
That's a different product, though.
What you mean?
Like, we talking about like this, I guess what we was talking about, Buffalo hip hop per se, or the Griselda thing, or what?
But he was saying the fact of you needed like the OGs in order for that found, like the OGs and the younger person. You said like a contemporary, and they're all come together in order to make it.
No, I'm not saying you need that to make it. I'm just saying I liked how that went. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it's, to be honest, it's different recipes for success. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's different recipes for rapping. It's different recipes for making beats. It's not no school for this. Well, white people trying to make a school for this shit, but it ain't no school for this shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't necessarily.
There's only one, YouTube University.
I mean, you could go to school and get music theory, but from what I understand, the guys who didn't do that are better producers sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's better.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You live it, embody it, and then like, maybe I'm missing something, and you go back just to sharpen your skills. That's how I kind of look at it, because like I think of people like the jazz players, the Coltrane's of the world, Louis Armstrong. Like, these people were in it, like playing music that are like.
That's really where it's at, man. Yeah, you gotta be out in the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I met you. You know what I'm saying? Out in the shit. You know what I mean? Not feeling like, oh, I'm too old or too whatever to be around the youth, because this. It's like, yo, this is where the action is. You in the action or not? Oh, you ain't in the action because it's young niggas running it? What, you intimidated or some shit? Like, yo, this is where the action at. You an action man, ain't you? Get in the action, nigga. This is what you do. You know what I mean? You Uncle Drew, nigga. You play ball, don't you? Go play ball with it. What the fuck? You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it, you know?
Yeah, and the thing about it is that you bring something to the table. I think that's what allows you to not be intimidated by it, because a lot of the older dudes, they didn't drop gems. They didn't lead a good path to truly create. That's how that's how I look at it. Like, it's. No,
I don't know. I wasn't around. I wasn't around the whole time. You feel me?
I think about it like, I always think about it like the translation of the information. Like, and what I mean by that is like some people's OGs was slinging hand to hand, and they were showing people how to get money, and it was doing it like that.
Translation of the information.
That type of shit can't translate to modern time with phones, cameras, everything. You can't be doing that. It's online now.
Right.
So it's like, did you give that young dude principles on how you moving and how to operate this whatever you're doing, can that information translate to now I'm getting money online, I'm doing this right here. And the OGs, sometimes I feel like OGs get intimidated by that shit because they don't have information to truly give.
I don't even think it might be intimidated, but yeah, you don't feel like an OG if you don't got the game. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm not gonna say learn the game. I guess that may not be your what you have to offer. Like that kind of game. If the game changed, you know what I mean, it's obviously stayed the same though. They still
It always
you know what I'm saying? They updated the software and all the how they do it, but it's all still the same.
Yeah, and
So it's like, you know, I don't know. I know some older people get intimidated by technology and shit. Some don't. Because to be honest, I was at this party in Canada mad years ago, man, and it was mad chicks there, and we was chilling, and this older lady was there with like a salt and pepper afro, and she was like, she had to be like 56, 70. She was old, bro. Like, she just looked out of place at that party. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "What you laughing at? Like, what you know?" It's like, you know, what you don't think I should be here? She's like, "Well, first of all, this is how I stay young. You know what I'm saying? I be around the young people. I be around the youth. This is what's happening. People my age not doing this.
Moving and
you know what I
shaking.
mean? I got to be around what's going on." So I'm like, that's what will keep you young. I was like, that makes mad sense.
fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Andre
So,
3000, he famously said it's a young man's game.
you know what I'm saying? Just in life though, just being around the youth. You know what I mean? Just to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Know the temperature of what the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. And it's like I try to not take myself too serious. Also, like that shit helped me keep me young because it's like I don't walk around with I'm a college graduate. I do my podcast. I'm a fucking this that titles and shit. Like nah, I'm a regular nigga. Like
Right.
like I do not take myself too serious, bro. But like with the shit I do, it's not a game. It's not a joke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't wear that bad.
Yeah, I don't got to carry this around all the time.
Yeah, man. I definitely try to keep it regular as possible with this. I guess I don't know. I'm more on some production shit as of late. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just try to keep it light. You know?
Facts. So like once you slow down with the rapping, you started making beats.
Well, it was like some, you know how shit be happening, this necessity and shit. Like, so we did. Remember that Buff Love joint? That like was like 2018, one of them years. We had met this manager there or what have you, and shit ain't necessarily go the way, you know, we wanted things to go and shit. So I had but he had like alleviated some of the workload, you know what I mean, at the time. You know what I mean? At the time, it felt like he was doing the shit we needed him to do. So I fell back and I was like, yo, I'm about to get on these beats. And part of it was because Reese needed beats and I felt like we needed a sound and shit. And it's like we've been around too long not to really have a sound of our own. Like we like certain shit. I like more traditional shit. He like all kind of shit. You know what I mean? So it really just leave an open space between me and him musically. So where we meet sometime is far in between. You know what I mean? Few and far between. So I was like, I know what I like, and I've been around this nigga forever, so I know what he like now. So let me fuck around. I fucked around, had the time to fuck around, and then so by the time we fell out with the manager, I was jive aight. You know what I'm saying? And picking up little things here and there. But it was some necessity shit. You know what I'm saying? It never really was like, I'm about to be a producer. You know what I'm saying? And niggas was fronting on the beats. So it was like, yo, I jive know what I want. For you to give me the time to sit through your shit and get what I want, and you acting like you don't want me to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. At least loop. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just started looping shit. It really wasn't intricate as, you know you grow and shit. So I'm moving along, man. I'm not like bragging like I'm like the next nigga or no shit, but you know, I'm just taking it, still having fun with it. You know what I'm saying? The rap shit was fun. It ain't as fun right now because, you know, we don't have the footing that we need. And I felt like this will give us some footing, you know what I'm saying? Having a sound, having beats, you know what I'm saying? For him to be able to rap on. And now, like, a lot of people want beats more than before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not really advertising on no shit like that. But
so I get that.
Is there any producers that you were like looking at while you were like developing y'all sound?
Man, it's crazy, man. I always like Dilla, you know what I'm saying?
R.I.P.
Before the whole thing, you know what I mean? The whole, you know what I mean, caravan. But Dr. Dre was always really dope to me. Warren G, if you just want to take it back, you know what I mean? I always like Marley Marl. He did a lot of the Cold Chillin'. If you notice, the Cold Chillin' had a sound. You know what I'm saying? When I say Cold Chillin', I mean the Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie, Craig G, Cool G Rap. They was all like a group, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? You hear them shouted out by greats, but they was a loose group. Loosely, they was a group.
Like collective?
Yeah.
Or an actual group?
They was a group called the Juice Crew. So they was a group, but they never came out. I think they got a compilation, but it was never a song with all of them. But the one song was the Symphony. So there you get that crew record thing forming around. I'm not gonna say they was the first, but the name Symphony gave that kind of song a name. You know what I'm saying? When niggas like, yo, we doing a symphony joint. That means it's a couple niggas on this joint.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? That's why niggas used to talk back in the day. Yo, we doing a symphony joint.
So it was Symphony before it was turned to Posse Cut?
The way I heard it back in the day, we used to, when we was rapping back in the day, niggas be like, yo, we doing a little symphony joint. Got 4-5, got this dude. You know what I'm saying? Just the term came.
That's a fact. And I feel like it had to be, I like that word because it kind of exactly what it was, because you had to have those guys in the studio. It wasn't just like, yo, let me send you this email, send in the vocals. Like, no, like we all got to kind of link up to make this happen. We all have to work together. Like a symphony type shit.
Yeah, Marley Marl. I like Primo. I like all the staple guys. Madlib is always dope.
Yeah, he's
Been dope.
crazy.
I mean, I
I'll
like
still be
what Tommy.
bumping,
I like what Derringer does. You know what I'm saying? I like.
Get Derringer on here.
I like who else I like. I loved what Shay do. I like our sound because it's our sound.
Yeah.
We never really. That's where I really, I feel like the Griselda thing is like a win for the older niggas too, because that's the sound that a lot of older niggas never wavered from. As far as Buffalo, you know what I mean. A lot of older dudes never got into this trap shit or like this or whatever, the drill and the variations. Niggas never was, because this was like a region, like that's their regional sound. Chicago, Atlanta, this is ours, you know what I'm saying? And when you young, you gonna ride the fads and shit, but now they've proven that this is what we do up here.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hell yeah.
And when people come, they looking for that sound too.
yeah, and
Like,
I could really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could really appreciate that shit for what they did for the culture and for the town, just because this is what we do up here. And to see the younger guys who do it too, it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Who's y'all influences? You know what I'm saying? When I meet the younger rappers that rap, boom bap, do this shit, I'll be like, damn, well, who the fuck was y'all listening to? You know what I'm saying?
They was digging in the crates.
Because the thing about this rap is it's all influential.
Very.
So, like, this whole era to me is Ghostface. Like, everything that's going on, Ghostface influenced all of this. This resurgence of this rapping with no drums, this Ghostface does all this shit. All of it.
The flashy.
All of it. And that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? It's all an influence. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? When it's respect and it's done the right. You know what I'm saying? Well, all the whole rap thing is because Ghostface is influenced by Slick Rick and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. My only concern that I be having sometimes is like, will we ever get like kind of just like
a new, fresh perspective? You get it. I mean, in the boom bap shit, or just in general?
in general, because you hear a lot
You hear a lot of copy stuff.
A lot of copycats, regional people try to take, like I said, the last time I like a real sound, I feel like was from a certain region, like that Detroit shit. That's probably like the most recent. Like they have a specific style,
right?
How they do shit.
You mean the scam rap?
Scam rap, just like the
and the Dilla shit was a sound.
Like they rapping off beat, kind of.
Yeah, They created that. That's their shit. Yeah. And what was you saying though? What was the?
Yeah, it was. I was just like trying to just bring attention to it, because it's like I always be asking myself like, how can hip hop and how can rap music take it further? What's the next step? Because it's like it's so mainstream right now, super popularized. It's without a question, and it's like our culture is like, this is us. Like hip hop is our culture, and it's like, okay, but what's the next? How do we take it to the next step? Versus
you mean like music wise? Like what?
Yeah, music wise, shit.
That
Wise,
I don't know. I think. Oh my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Because I'm real just big on like foresight to see where shit is going.
I feel like this. I feel like the rap thing, I feel like everybody gets it now. That's what I like about the rappers that started, like when I started, like, okay, in the 90s, you know what I mean, the late 90s or whatever, till now, you know what I'm saying? Like the progression. I like the progression that y'all, the shit it took us, we had to bump our head to find out, y'all already know it. So we jive, fuck the age thing, we jive be on the same level with the hip hop shit. That's where I feel like we got the power that niggas is really sleeping on. That a nigga 50 years old could be around a nigga that's 19 and still speak the same language, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? That is power in that.
Facts.
You know what I mean? That's what get left on the table. From the men to the women, everything. Like, this whole generation lost out here that we ain't, you know what I'm saying, being accountable for. Yeah. But we got this powerful shit we fuck with every day as a lifestyle, and we don't even reach out to our, you know what I mean, our counterparts, our peers, our, you know what I mean? So that's, I think that need to change, but you ask where it need to go or what's next, right? I think what's next, and the reason why I said that is a lot of cats, it's not so much about the rap anymore. They want to make a business out of it, and they're understanding that. I think a lot of the cats in rap now, a lot of the young guys are being business minded. They're trying to make money. They are not just trying to be seen. As much as these things are here for niggas to be seen these days, and you know what I mean, it's all about being seen and having content and shit. I think a lot of the guys who get into this shit from the streets especially have a plan to get the fuck out of that shit and use this shit to really get up out of it, because they seeing too many examples of it.
Facts.
So that's a business mind. That's determination. And once you in the game, all you got to do is put out a product. So I feel like a lot of these guys, younger guys that's doing the music, is progressing into straight businessmen before they even turn 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that getting ripped off by the label shit anymore. Nah, nigga, I'm popping and I got merch or whatever the fuck they, you know, niggas sell anything now. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of these young niggas are smart enough to see that now. That, yo, we don't need the label. We don't. It's a lot of that ain't. But, you know, with anything, it's a shakedown. It's a filter. And the real ones still be there when the shit happens.
When the dust settles.
You know what I'm saying? So
I look at like YB and Cordae. I see him and I see his evolution just from being in a group, rap group, kind of not knowing we just spitting, to the point where it's okay, I'm my own entity. I'm like, I'm creating good music. And it's like, he had the joint with Earn Your Leisure podcast. He was talking about that shit. When the industry dried up, he said, shit, I got right in the investments. I got right in the stocks. I had to do that, da-da-da-da. And he's like, I flipped my money so many times. I said, shit, I need to make a label. Like, and he progressed, and he's young. Like,
yeah. I think the information is out here. I think because we was ambitious and we just didn't have the information back in the day. You know what I'm saying? We used to street corner philosophize about plenty of things that we wanted to do and couldn't. We ain't had the resources. We ain't had things so exciting. Really just the information, man. I really could just say that. You know what I mean? Just the things that I know now from experience, but also just having accessible information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Was 5%ers in Buffalo at any point in time, like where they had like a?
It was a few because, you know, Buffalo kind of got a lot of jail niggas by being that upstate shit. You know, it was like that situation. I never knew one like personally, but I know it was a few around. You know what I'm saying? When that Wu-Tang era was around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's when I think of people like talking about dropping knowledge and putting it into music and all this stuff, like 5%ers was around there, like who else? It's like the cliques of people who would just be like Bambaataa, his crew and all of that. That's information was important to be passed through the music and all that shit. So
yeah, niggas is smart now, man. Niggas, and they doing shit. That's really why I be around the young niggas. I'm like, yo, y'all really doing this shit. Like, you know what I mean? It may not be like y'all niggas ain't on, but y'all doing it on the level it need to be done. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? I be around the shack looking at that operation like, yo, y'all, shit is happening. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I want them boys
I feel like the younger generation, they laying the groundwork early before they even get to the point. So I feel
it's
like a lot
just
of
better,
things,
man. The information is laid there. It's like y'all, it's like,
information way more accessible.
and then y'all done seen it now. Now y'all generation was able, by the internet and all that, a lot of people done got called out on shit. So you start to get that information earlier than you would, you know what I mean, in the 90s and shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas wasn't reading the newspapers in the 90s, bro. Not like that. Like, you know what I mean? Not niggas that's trying to be rappers and street niggas and all that kind of shit. Like, I don't feel like they was, but
no, that's real.
you know what I mean? The information is just so much more accessible now. And you could do a lot of shit yourself, you know what I mean? But you still need that team, you know?
Yeah.
Still need that
building
team.
teams is key. Yeah, because I know my shit I was doing, it went completely to the next level once I started working with others and getting shit right.
Right.
And shit, we just try to keep a strong team. Like, us three, we got 2 other people out here with us, but we get it done. Like, we just committed to like consistency, and that's how I feel like we even got to the position we in now.
Well, yeah, consistency is key now. That's really all you got to do. It's just no matter what, do the shit.
Yeah, and that's what I be like telling my brother. It's like, yo, all you got to do is just don't stop. Like, the only difference between people who failed and people successful is successful niggas never stop. Like,
yeah.
Shit,
I had to switch my mindset, to be honest with
You were just about to say what I was thinking.
Yeah, Nip talked about that heavy.
Nah, it's just, I don't know. For me, like, things been going better than it was. But it's just, I switched up, though. I was doing some shit that I felt, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, the rap shit was fun, but I approach it different. Like, I approach that shit from, like, some funny shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't really approach it on some rap supremacy and shit. You know what I'm saying? I approach that shit on, like, you know, some cynical shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this song I had did when we went out to the Bay, Bulletproof Snack Bag. So it's like niggas is getting shot so bad, you know what I mean? Niggas need a bulletproof snapback, you know what I'm saying? That's the joke. But the joke inspired the fucking song. So the song is dope as fuck, but it's just like, that's how I come at shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's not that I don't.
Is that how you are with just life? You try and find the humor and shit?
Yeah, cause shit be real, and it's like you have to cope with that shit and you have to get up. Yeah, you got bust in the face, but you better get up, bro, cause it's like it's cars coming. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that real that you kind of just gotta figure a way to deal with that shit for the moment and do it just as a man and shit. Like, so yeah, you know.
Like, what would be your your advice to a kid 18, fresh out of high school. They say, yo, I want to get into this rap shit.
Oh, don't say that. Man. Don't say that. Man. That's tough, bro. Because it's like, you don't... That's a deep-ass question, man. Because, you know, motherfuckers don't be living their dreams. They be living what they think is, you know what I mean, some shit that look nice. You know what I'm saying? There's sometimes it don't really be...
We gotta keep them comfortable.
Yeah, it don't really be the dream. You know, motherfuckers get into things sometimes just to do them. They don't really be wholeheartedly... Sometimes they do, but then they may not be talented. But you got to be able to see where your strengths is and shit. You know what I'm saying? Every nigga's not the rapper. Every nigga's not the producer. You might be a great fucking manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta... I guess advice for an 18-year-old kid when they get into this: don't close the door on just rap. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because you might get out here and things might go good for you, and you might think it's for you. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm not telling you to give up. I'm just telling you, it's different facets of the game of the industry. It's not just rap. You know what I'm saying? And you could get things popping quicker. To me, it seemed like if you don't have no money, to get something, to be the nigga with something instead of the nigga asking for something. I feel like when I rap, I'm always like, not asking niggas for something, but you always at another nigga mercy, so to speak. Like, you go on tour, you gotta hope this nigga gonna give you the money and ain't gonna be no problem. You ain't gonna have to want to do something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that shit, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like that, to be at another motherfucker's mercy, beckoning, like, yo, we only got... I've had it happen a few times where I was about to put hands on a promoter once, man. You know what I mean? And Reese was like, man, come on, man. Because he was playing games, man. He tried to offer me weed after and shit. Bro, come on, man. We want our money. And, you know, it was New York, so you had to have that rent. It was a serious time and shit. But, like, yeah, you know, it's just...
Just kind of figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah, man. You just really... That's what I would tell a young motherfucker these days. Like, man, don't just put it in rap, man. You might be a dope producer. You might be a dope manager. You might be a dope you might be dope at making clothes, merch. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas is fly, but really can't rap. They just want to be fly. Make some merch for your man.
Yeah.
You know, and don't be afraid to play another position.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? To get to where you want to go.
Yeah, don't get in your own way, man.
Yeah, you know, you never know though. You know what I'm saying? I can't shit on a kid dreams if he want to rap. You know what I'm saying? But everybody want to rap. You know what I'm saying?
Or wanted to at some point.
Yeah. At least, you know what I mean? But it's, you know, I don't know, man. This rap shit is funny, man. You know?
It's a light show. It's a light show.
Light
Yeah,
show.
It's a lot
you
of
know what I
smoke and
mean?
mirrors.
A light show.
Me being such a regular guy, I can't do it that like
To that.
in that way because it, you know.
Nah, I feel you on that.
It's funny.
1000%.
What else? I just heard a job. I think I just heard my first placement.
Oh,
That's
where?
out, yeah. So I did a joint for L Biz and Jamal Gasol.
Okay, where?
Yeah, that shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not ready, but it's like I heard it last night. So I'm like, that's dope.
That's hard.
That's fire.
It
That's
sounds
fire.
like, you know, it's about to come out. You know, other shit is coming, but I think that's on the way quick. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So,
If people wanted to tap in with you, how they get in touch with you? How would they reach out?
I mean, I guess just hit me on the gram and shit for right now, you know, while I'm around. I mean, I'm around for right now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's nothing exclusive going on yet.
Yeah, what's
So
the tag?
Dark Skin Jermaine, the real Dark Skin Jermaine.
Bet.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. He shot beats. If you need a just gem, somebody in your ear that's seen it, done it, man to talk to right here.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, I ain't trying to be a consultant and shit. You know what I mean? I just know my life. You know what I mean? I can't tell niggas what to do. I just tell you like, yo, I did this.
Yeah, you could just give them advice from your experience.
Yeah, that's why I don't try to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Damn, what else?
That's fire. That's fire.
What else I got working? I'm working on a project with Gaines and Skate and shit. It's a bunch of them. It's called The Others. This shit gonna be hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can tell. I can tell just by the name and who on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I like that.
It's me, Reese, Gaines, Skate, the Rodagees,
Jeez.
Miserable Genius, and Naphtali.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
Like it's a couple different songs. So yeah, we just like working on that joint, and then you know I got the shit working with Travis and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I got what else I'm working on? I got a dope project with Reese too. That's about to, you know, it's ready. We just
right
waiting
time.
to put the right time out. You know what I mean? Put it out on the right time and shit.
Bet.
So far, you know what I mean? That's just what's.
Yeah.
I got some more shit with L Biz too. He cooking out here.
Yeah, I see. We've been
He
saying
cooking out. You got to get him up here, man. He cooking, man.
Sure.
That's the only reason I was like, yo, fuck with him, because he really cooking out here. Like, he got a new feature like every other day. I'm like,
he been grinding.
like, damn. But, yeah, I ain't, like I said, I ain't exclusive. You know what I mean? You want some beats? Matter of fact, I got shit up on SoundCloud if you want to check it out and shit. But yeah, I ain't exclusive. You know what I mean?
Bet. Hell yeah, you heard it here first.
Appreciate you pulling up, bro.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
No Label the Pod. We out.
Peace.
Peace.
She watching me like a nigga is cable. I'll be on no label, but my clothes be